Fine.
Welcome to Reset to Healthier Relationship. Sunday night at 9. I am your host, Coach Glenda, here with course manager Rufus Carpenter. As always, if you haven't tuned in before, Rufus and I have created this forum where we can talk about past and present relationships, any triumphs or obstacles that you may have faced in the past. And we encourage everyone to speak their truth and talk as much or as little as they would like. And before we dive into our topic for tonight, I will allow Mr. Carpenter to introduce himself.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Rufus Carpenter. I come to this space a little different than most. Mine started as a little boy in Virginia in a family of 14, and we lived in a 3-bedroom house, and we never had enough of anything. I remember one weekend where I went out and did chores around the neighborhood. I raked the grass, I picked up leaves, I chopped wood for people, and I helped people do all sorts of things. I even did grocery shopping for people and did all of that. And it went as far as picking up soda cans and pop bottles from along the side of the highway. But all that work netted me like $35 and some change. So when I brought that home to my mom and said, "Hey, Mom, here's what I got." My mom was so proud of me. She kissed me on the forehead. She said, "Rufus, I'm so proud of you." And she gave me like $1.30 to keep for myself. And when she did that, that made me feel so good. That changed my life. And I was like about 8 or 9 years old. And that changed my life. Ever since then, I've been on what's called a helper's high. I always wanted to pitch in to be a part of the success of the project, of the family, of the organization. So that's where I got the essence of the human connection from that. I was married 27 years. So being married 27 years, you learn things about communication, trust, compromise, and all of these things. These things are for a successful marriage, but these you get a better understanding of the human relationship. My background didn't stop there. I joined the military, United States Army, and one of my jobs, United States Army, was a human and race relation leader. We had the responsibility going to all the units in our area, and I would be the first person on the scene anytime they had a race or relationship issue, and I would do what's called an intake form. And I would just help decide which level of responsibility or what resources we had through at solving a problem. And plus, I'm a male here tonight. This container is really set up to be where 20 of you and your girlfriends are in your living room. This is Sunday night at 9 o'clock. Your kids are in bed, everything is relaxed. And you guys are relaxed, and there's 20 of you in one of your living room. Maybe somebody might have a glass or two of wine, and you're comfortable, and you're talking about the truth. You're talking about relationship topics. Now, we normally have a topic to talk about, but you can bring up any opportunity you want. You can ask questions. And you might say, "Well, why am I doing this?" One is when sometimes you hear yourself say the things and get it out of the open and hear yourself say it, it gives you peace of mind. It gives you relief. And besides, the sister beside you, she may be going through the same thing or worse, but she just dressed it up a little bit better than you do. So you think she's okay, but really she don't have a clue on how to get out of some of the stuff you've already mastered. So when you let your truth out, she's saying, "Wow, if this girl can do it, I can do it too." So you can help her get her breakthrough, okay? So that's what we do on Sunday night at 9. Okay, Glenda.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Carpenter. Tonight's topic is from one of our very own participants. The topic for tonight is being in love the same as loving a person? Again, the topic for tonight is being in love the same as loving a person? Tonight, we're going to unpack something real, the difference between being in love and truly loving someone. What does those experiences mean to you? What have they meant in your life? All right, so number one, being in love. Now, based off of our research, being in love is an intense emotion, infatuations, and you feel those butterflies inside your stomach. It can happen quickly, not always rooted in reality, often about how you feel, not necessarily about how the other person treats or nurtures you. Loving someone, on the other hand, requires vulnerability, time, and consistency, rooted in trust, support, and daily actions. About choosing the person beyond just feeling it. So being in love is like lighting a fire. Loving someone is keeping that fire alive when the wind blows and the fuel runs out. Okay, so let's see. Can anybody relate to an experience where you don't, well, I don't want you to say anything out loud. I just want you to think on it because we're going to continue and hopefully we'll be able to circle back to your questions. But has anyone experienced the difference between when you knew that you were just in love and then being in love with someone, knowing that without a shadow of a doubt, I am truly in love with this person. I loving this person consistently based off of our definitions or our comments on what Reset says, that the difference between being in love and loving someone. So just hold that in the back of your head. Don't respond now. Don't throw your hands up. But I just want you to think about if you have experienced either of those as we proceed to our examples for tonight. Now, the spark that didn't last.
Before we get there, before we get there, because you said a lot, and I know our audience are thinking, saying, wow, because you went through an awful lot at the very beginning. And the essence of the night's topic, really, you covered it already in the beginning. So I just want to make sure that we didn't miss any, that everybody was listening like I was listening. They picked up the little subtle hints you had when you went through, because, and one reason I wanted to stop a little bit and slow us down, because everybody on this line, if they're human, they've been in love. They fell in love and they love someone. If it's no more than their mother, the father, the sister, the auntie, the cousin, or their husband, the wife, or the boyfriend, their near friend, or whatever, we've all experienced it. And we got to realize something. There's two parts of this. The first part of this is the feeling. What do you feel in your heart? The feeling. And sometimes feelings can confuse. Sometimes feeling can take the best of you. Sometimes feelings can be like a train wreck. They're unstable. You just don't have a clue. And that's the being in love part. Now, the loving someone is a choice. You've had a chance to see this person. You had a chance to interact with this person. You've been on a journey with this person. You've invested some time or some thought, or you know something about this person, and you made a conscious choice to be with this person. And you said, in spite of that, they can have all these issues or red flags, but you're gonna love them unconditionally because you love them. That's a choice you made. So I just want to get that out very, very early in the conversation. One is a feeling, one is a choice. Okay? All right. Sorry, Glenda. I just wanted to bring that out.
Okay. Not a problem. So our example for tonight, the very first one, the spark that didn't last. The excitement was strong, calls, texts, laughs, but when the real life challenges came, the connection lacked depth and couldn't hold.
Okay, can I get in again? Now, everybody, I need somebody to help me answer this. Was that being in love or loving someone? Who wants to step up and make this case for this one? Which one was this? Was this being in love or was this loving someone?
Good evening. If possible, could she say it one more time?
Okay.
Please.
Thanks, Annette. We'll make it clear. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, Annette. How you doing, by the way? I forgot to say hi to you.
I'm good. Happy Easter, brother man, and everybody else. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Glenn.
Right. Okay. The spark that didn't last. The excitement was strong. Calls, texts, laughs. But when the real life challenges came, the connection lacked depth and couldn't hold.
Okay, now my question was this being in love or this loving someone? Which was this example? If you had to rate this example, being in love or loving someone, what would this one be?
I would say being in love. And that would say being in love.
Okay, now let's blow up the chat. Is she right? Put yes. If she's wrong, put no. I'm sorry. Now is she right or wrong? If you agree with her, put yes. If you don't agree with her, put no in the chat. And Glenda, we want you to read the chat for us. How many yeses and how many nos? Not that she's wrong or not, but if you agree with her, yes. If you don't agree with her, no. All right. How many yeses? How many nos we got?
Well, hey, this.
You can go and talk while people are putting it in.
I'm not really good with the chat because of my hand situation.
No problem.
But I disagree in a way because being in love with person is not that simple to get out of the situation. Whereas in loving a person, you can actually be like a light switch and turn it off and on. Because I also agree with you making a comment about a choice. Loving a person is a choice where you have the mentality to be in it or be out of it. Okay, it's not unconditionally. When you in love with a person, that's like that soul tie. That's that hard to cut off love. You know, so to me, that's the difference.
Okay. All right. You got everybody tally. Everybody's gonna put it in. Glenda, what's it? Yes or no? Which one has the most votes?
Annette, I got a question now. You made the comment and we were asking if you agree or not. And
I chose to say I disagreed. I considered it not loving. I considered it not being in love. I considered it like she just loved someone, and at that particular time it was over.
Okay.
Did I answer right?
I think you look confused. And all the yeses were right. Anna was right. Her first choice was right. It's being in love because this is a feeling. That's why it fizzled out so quick. It was a spark. It was a feeling. So you was right all together, Annette. So anybody got yes in it is right. Annette, you was right with your initial thing. It's being in love because it's a feeling. It's a feeling. You're not in love. This is a feeling, not a choice. It was a feeling.
But
and the feeling died, it was over.
Yeah, but also loving a person is the same. You have feelings as well. Because
loving the person is a choice. You're doing it after you've already been through the fire and you've made the decision. It's a choice.
Not necessarily. In my opinion now.
Explain.
Because
let's hear your opinion.
I'm finna explain. Okay. In my first one, I really, really thought I was in love, but I wasn't. It was that I was caught up in a point where I was loving a person almost as if I owed her something for what they've done for me. You understand? And I mixed the two up. It's a difference when you actually in love. It is that feeling. And it's a deep connection when you in love with a person. That's by all means necessary. You they're in it. You got that. What I'm trying to say. You got it ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
You can love a person and think mentally that you have that ride or die the same. And that's where a lot of people get it mixed up because I'm gonna tell you, when you love a person and you deeply in love with a person or deeply love a person, you can get them mixed up because you can think mentally that you're in love when you're not, and that's why it's easier to get out of it. When you're not in love with a person, it's easy to break the connection. When you in love with a person, it's hard to break that connection. I'm sorry, it's truly hard.
Do anyone
and with that situation, she just said they cut it off, real easy. So if they cut it off that easy, then I don't see how they could be in love with a person.
Okay. Okay, now I'm glad you're the one that asked this question, Mr. Kingdom. You just explained the reason why you asked this question. You just explained it. So we're glad to work with you as a team tonight. We're gonna all team up and work together on this, not against you, but with you on this. We're gonna all work together as a team. Now, I saw one chat that Annette said she agreed with Mr. Kingdom. Anybody else want to come out and speak their truth now about this or their thoughts about this before we start adding a little bit more to this one?
Well, hi everybody. This is Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
How y'all doing? Hi. To me, I thought about the question you asked, and I hear it all the time. I'm so in love with this person. I'm so in love with that person. But my opinion, if I love a person, I love a person. You know what I'm saying? I think when I call myself so-called, or people call themselves so-called in love, is when they make the silly mistake. You know what I'm saying? That's just how in love you do just stupid stuff, or you allow stupid stuff to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. I think love to me is love. You know, either I love you or I don't.
Okay, so that first one is you consider it being in love or loving someone. That very first one, the spark, and we're talking about the spark. And because that actual thing read, the spark doesn't last. And it said the excitement is strong. The call, the text. And so anybody else want to comment about that before we wrap this one up to go to number 2? All right. No one? Okay. Let's talk about the clues of this one. Well, we're going to talk about clues and then we'll come back to Mr. Kingdom. The clues of this is the excitement. Excitement is a feeling. Excitement isn't a choice, it's a feeling. So when you say feeling, that goes with the very first one, being in love. Because being in love is a feeling, an emotional, electric, and consuming. So that's a sign right there. Okay. Also, it says the calls and the laughs, the text, but when it came to real life, when real life challenges came, it dwindled. Now, loving someone is a choice. And as she read, when she was talking about loving someone, she said after the challenge of life, the person still stayed because they made a choice to stay. So that automatically made this one, being in love, a feeling. So being in love, a feeling. And at first, when she said at first was so true. So it was a yes. Somebody want to say something? Okay, she was so right. Now,
well, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Not to cut you off.
I'm coming to you after you finish that. I got something to say to you.
I'm gonna say this real quick and simple.
Go ahead, sir.
Point blank. The way you explaining your ideology, the way you explain it, you're making it seem like loving a person, there's no feelings involved.
No,
so I'm not. No. Listen,
go ahead.
listen. You made the comment that there was a feeling involved. You understand? You can have the same feelings to a point, loving a person as you do being in love with a person. So that's where I'm lost in the what you're saying, because they still feeling strong feelings by loving a person. So it's not necessarily based on a choice. It still have feelings involved.
I agree with you, Mr. Kingdom. I 100% agree with what you just said. I 100% agree with what you said. Because the reason being, both of them have feelings. Both of them have feelings, but the deal is, in being in love with you is strictly feelings. When the feelings fade, it's over. It's a wrap. Peace out. The other one, loving someone, when the feelings fade and you made the decision to continue, you made a choice to continue. After the feelings fade, you made a continue choice. You said it in your conversation about your first marriage or your first choice. You said that you ride or die. You ride or die with that person. You said you went so many years or so many months, ride or die. You made a choice to ride or die. When you say I'm riding or die, I made a choice. Come hell or high water, I'm sticking in there unconditional. That's loving someone. That's the difference right there, sir.
No, that's actually, to me, is being in love, because the feelings are so strong You do whatever to try to stay in it and keep it there. When you loving a person, that's totally different.
Okay.
When you in love, I don't care. They can do whatever they want to do. You're going to be somewhat blinded by the situation. And when you in love, bro, you're not expecting to go nowhere. You're not wanting to go nowhere. You ain't trying to go nowhere. You're stuck in it because you in love with that person. That's a soul thing. When you loving a person, when them feelings gone, then you gone.
We need to back up. We need to back up just a little, and we need to go through that loving and being in love one more time, because they're so close that, and I don't want us to get confused, because we're going to do three more examples, but we need that first part, because remember she said that they're both their feelings, and she talked about they're pretty much the same, but there's some difference in the journey. Glenda, can you do that first part again? That first part where you talked about the feelings, and then you talked about what being in love was, and then what loving someone is. Can you back up and do that one more time, if you don't mind? Audience, can we do that one more time? Because this is the key right here. The key is in that the first thing her first 5 minutes is the key of this whole conversation tonight.
Before I go back over the difference between the two, while we were talking, I just tried to research the meaning of being in love with someone.
Okay.
And it references being in love with someone and loving someone, the difference between the two. So actually, I know that we only have like two categories right here, being in love and loving someone, but also there is a third one, is being in love with someone. So I just wanted to point that out because of what Mr. Kingdom has said, but I'll go back over the difference between being in love and loving someone. I hope I didn't confuse anyone.
Yeah.
So being in love,
go ahead.
Being in love it's a feeling, emotionally electric, consuming, often feels like butterflies, daydreaming, longing. It comes quickly and doesn't always require deep knowledge of a person. Can be based on potential than reality. You fall into it, it's passionate and sometimes unstable. Now that is being in love. Now, loving someone is a choice, consistent, grounded, and mature. It means choosing your person even when the butterflies quiet down. It involves trust, sacrifice, patience, and showing up. It's what holds you together when life gets real. It's action-based, not just emotion-led.
Okay. Did that shed any light? Did that kind of brighten it up a little bit, or made it look clearer, give us clarity at all?
Yes.
Did you want to explain your clarity, Dr. Johnson, so you can maybe coming from a different perspective? You don't have to, but we go further on. I don't know. I mean to put you on the spot.
Coach Glenda explained it very well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's go. If no more questions about this part, let's go to example number 2.
Okay, Mr. Kingdom, you're good.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm taking it in.
But we can circle back to Mr. Kingdom. So we didn't throw you to the
go
wolves.
ahead. I don't want to prolong it. I want to hear the other two.
Okay.
Okay. Example number 2, the steady builder. A slow burn, not instant fireworks, but trust, respect, and deepening love built over time.
Okay, my same question again. Is this being in love or loving someone? Who wants to be first answer this? Being in love or loving someone?
Can you read it again, please?
Okay, no problem. Have a second here. All right, we have the steady builder. A slow burn, not instant fireworks, but trust, respect, and deepening love built over time.
Now, is
All right.
this being in love or this loving someone?
Well, Rufus,
Uh-huh.
coming from my experience and
Uh-huh.
my knowledge, which is not always right, but it's my life and my experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's neither.
That's,
It's
you say
neither.
neither or either? What'd you say?
It's neither with an N. It's not neither one of them. And the
It's
reason I say that is because that situation is what they call falling in love. That is falling in love. There's no feelings really there yet. You building it. So that falls under the category of falling in love. You know how you get arranged marriage and you be with a person and then you learn to love that person and fall in love with that person. That to me sound like that situation.
Okay. Any more any comments about what Mr. Kingdom said or what about this one?
Well, I could have sworn I heard Glenda read that it was the statement built over time.
Yes, she did say that.
I did.
That's why I said it would be being in love because it's had a chance to mature. The relationship had a chance to mature and it's based on trust and respect.
Okay. All right. Any more comments on this one before we weigh in? Okay. At this time, put in the chat. If you say being in love, put being in love. If you say loving someone, you put in chat. If you say being in love or loving someone, put in the chat. We'll give you a minute to put in chat and we'll see what the majority of the audience say. And then we'll go back and pick up some cues and see if the cues can help us out.
So far, we have 2 loving someone and 1 being in love.
And,
Okay.
and Mr. Kingdom said neither because he having problem type. So we got his neither. So his neither is the either. Already got his count. Okay. Okay. Are we ready to read them?
Well,
all right.
Was 3 loving someone, 1
Okay.
neither, and 1 being in love.
All right, 3 loving someone. Now let's talk about what Glenda said about the first one. She gave the example. Now the clues in this is, Glenda, you want me to do it or you want to do it, Glenda?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
The
clues in this is, and Sharon, I think Sharon kind of said it, built over time. If it's built over time and it says slow burn, built over time, no fireworks, this means a person made a choice. This means a person made a choice to be there. Choice, it's loving someone. It's mature, it's consistent, it's grounded. Choice. So this is being in love. So everybody got being in love is correct. All right? Are we ready? Any naysayers before we go into
I'm still
Mr. Carpenter, what did you say the correct answer was?
The correct answer is loving someone because that consistency over time.
Okay.
It's consistent, it's grounded, mature.
I thought you said
butterflies.
being in love.
I did too.
He did.
No, I'm sorry. I was loving someone is what I should have said. If I made a mistake, loving someone is what I should have said.
Okay.
And that's what I wrote in my notes. Loving someone.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Number 3. This is exciting, y'all. I'm sweating.
Okay. All right. Number 3. Repeat cycle. Always chasing the emotional high of being in love, but struggling with long-term commitment and emotional presence. And I'm going to read it one more time, just in case. The repeat cycle. Always chasing the emotional high of being in love, but struggling with long-term commitment and emotional presence.
Okay, this is an interesting one. The same question. Is this being in love or is this loving someone?
Well, I think it's loving a person because the key word was chasing and commitment. If you truly in love with a person, that means you're committed to that person, whether they're committed to you or not. you're in it for the long haul. That's that feeling of being in love with a person, to opposed to just loving a person.
Okay. So
And
once again, now and some of this may not be no right or wrong. It may be that, we may have to agree and disagree on some of this. But now, all those, we're going in the chat. Anybody want to make comments before we go to chat?
I do. Mr.
Yes,
Keenan,
go ahead.
what did you say again? What was yours?
I said there was key words,
Right.
the chasing and the commitment. I said that is loving a person,
Okay.
because if you in love with that person, you automatically committed to that person because the feelings is so strong. That's the difference in being in love and loving. That strong connection.
Read
Okay.
it one more time, Glenda. Read this one more time because we want to make sure everybody got all the words in this. Read it one more
Okay.
time.
The repeat cycle, always chasing the emotional high of being in love, but struggling with long-term commitment and emotional presence.
Okay. Now, anyone else want to say what they think this is? Is this being in love or loving someone?
So far, we got 2-2.
Okay, 2-2. Any you want to be tiebreaker, Glenda? You can be a tiebreaker.
And
Let me ask
Sharon,
you a question.
Go ahead.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can. Please do. This is free to everybody to ask questions.
Look, first of all, let me just say this.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that I'm right on every instant on this. I'm just giving my honest life experience
Mhm.
opinion on
Mhm.
this. So if somebody don't understand, or if somebody disagree with me, I wish somebody would speak up on it, because I'm still learning and growing as well. Now, back to that, what she said. You're learning and you chasing that in love high. You're not in love. You're loving this person. You chasing to get there. You working to get to that in love stage. From my understanding, what you read, it said you chasing. You're not there yet. Did I understand you in that statement you made? You say you chasing?
yes, it's a chase.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else before we kind of say this? So far, it's still 2-2, right? It's dead tie.
And Sharon said neither.
Okay, so neither, 2-2, and a neither. Okay, now I'm gonna tell this I'm gonna speak from my own heart here, Mr. Kingdom. I'm gonna talk from my experience.
Okay.
And the answer is being in love. And the reason why the answer is being in love, the key words here, repeated cycle. You going from one woman to another man, to another man, to another man, to another man, to another woman, to another woman, to another woman. You're chasing being in love. It tells you what it is right there. You're chasing being in love. You're chasing being in love. You're going from one, and I know this because there's a period of time in my life when I had a whole bunch of girlfriends. And I was chasing being in love because it made me have butterflies. It made me feel really good. And man, I was so juiced up with that. And I was chasing girl after girl after girl after girl after girl because I wanted that high of being in love. So I did it. And I struggled with long-term commitments. I struggled with long-term. Every time girls say, well, can we go? Can we do this? Can we still long-term? We can go long-term. I'm here I'm here to see you. When I get my stuff and get it up, we through.
Okay, Rufus. Rufus.
But let me finish this, Keena. I'm not finished yet. Okay. And so I was scared. To me, I was scared of the long-term commitment and the emotional presence. I would not let my emotions, I would not fall in love. I would not let my emotions be free. I had that I couldn't emotionally love anybody because I was damaged, I was hurt. So that one I know the answer for this in real life. And until I learned, I had to go through that. Then when I went to training for relationship coaching, I realized I had issues. So I had to get help to sort some things out myself. So I know this one. I lived this one. All right,
Well,
any questions?
I'm gonna just tell you straight up.
Uh-huh.
You confused as hell.
Then I
And
was.
you know,
Then I
you
was.
still are, right now. You still are with that comment because it's contradicting in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You're going from one female, one female, one female, one female, chasing that in love. But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You with what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
the way I understood it,
Mm-hmm.
you trying to tell me you was in love with each one of them,
I
trying to
was,
get
as
to
long as
that.
I was with them.
You wasn't in love with them. You was loving them. If you
I
was
was,
in love with them, if
I
you
was
was in love
chasing
with them,
being, Mr. Mr. King,
Rufus,
I was chasing being in love.
you was chasing the thought of being in love.
The feeling. You got it. You just proved it. The feeling.
No,
The feeling.
I said the thought of being in love. I ain't said nothing about no feelings. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, Rufus. And you know me and you go round and round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? First of all, if you was in love with that person,
Uh-huh.
you would have been with that person. That commitment wouldn't have been no fear, none of that. You was loving that person for the feeling that you had. You was loving that person for what she was per se giving you. You wasn't in love with that person like you say you were. You was loving them. Now, this is where we get it mixed up again.
Yep.
There's a difference when you're in love than loving because they both have strong feelings. They both have feelings.
Mr. Kingdom, go ahead, Annette, before I speak. Go ahead.
I would like to say something. I think for both that we need to understand, in my opinion, that they have a different point and a different time. The one is a hype. You got a hype for this love. This hype just give you that. This being in love just give you this hype. You just on a high. The other is a growth. You have developed. You have gone beyond the high. You see a future of something, whether that person giving you what you are reciprocating or not. It's where you have decided you're going. You have grown, and you have an interest vested in this person within you to see good for them all the way. You choose to be there for them or do for them or not let them fall or to help them. You have grown, you have developed, you have a love for them. There's a difference in the two.
That's Annette, let me chime in 1 second. Annette, when you broke down your definition and explanation, which one is which?
Okay, the hype, that's the being in love.
Okay.
I care for you, I'm going to do for you. It's not, I'm not doing it based on you. I'm doing it based on what I feel for you, what I want for you, what I think for you. That's loving you.
Okay.
That's 100% correct.
That's the way I see it. That's that loving someone.
That's 100% correct. That's the easiest way to say it.
That's the way I see it. I don't know.
And here's where a lot of people get confused. A lot of people, when they say loving someone, they think that's the hype. They think that's I'm loving you, so I'm loving that feeling they're loving. They think because it's a feeling, because the thing of the heart. The heart is about feeling. I'm feeling it in my heart. I'm feeling this. So I'm loving you. I'm loving you. That's not it. That's not it. Love, if you're a Bible reader, you understand that love in the heart and the body is not so much loving you, an emotional feeling. It's a mental thing. It's a choice. You've made a choice. You've made a decision to go this direction. You've made a decision to make this your purpose. So it's more of a brain and decision making than it is a feeling. You know, all the love songs we listen to, they say, I'm feeling. Oh, I'm in love because I feel it. Oh, what's that you're feeling? You know, that's not necessarily what the heart is all about. Mm-hmm. And that's where we get confused because society has confused the heck out of us. Mm-hmm. There's something that says, guard your heart because the issues of life come out your heart.
That's
true. It ain't about feelings. It ain't so much about feelings. It's the choices you make in life.
You know what? I asked this question and I opened up this can of worms. But I can tell you this. I'm listening but I'm more lost in this situation than a damn bucket of roaches.
And and Ava
I'm
said
spreading, I'm scattering all over the place. And I'm being for real because
that.
all
Ava
of it's
said
based
that.
on feelings. It's
Ava
it's
said that. Ava
it's
said
still
it's mixed up.
when you
There's
when
no right or
you
wrong
when
answers, Mr. Kingdom.
no. I'm just telling you from my experience. I'm totally confused because it brings up another question.
Oh,
Everybody keeps saying it's a choice, it's a choice, it's a choice.
Mhm.
okay.
And that makes it being loving you. But when you in love with a person, you're blinded by so much stuff. You made, excuse my French, fucked up choices in that situation because you're so deep in love, you're blinded by the negativity and anything else that come into play. So therefore, you're still making choices. You
You're
understand?
making, yeah, you're 100% right, Mr. Kingdom. You're right, but you're right and wrong at the same time, sir. You're right in the fact that you're right. You make choices being in love. You're so caught up in that feeling of being in love. You believe because you in being in love, you go with the flow. You go where those feelings are
Wait a minute,
taking you. Go ahead,
stop.
go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna ask one question,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And this is from a male's point of view.
Okay.
Do you remember coming up in the day when they say you was P. Will?
Yes, yes,
You remember
yes.
that, right?
Yep. It's
Now,
still going on.
when my point, listen to me. Here's the question: when
Uh-huh.
you get P whipped,
Mm-hmm.
okay, does that mean you in love, or does that mean you love that person for that feeling that she just gave you?
The feeling. You love the person for the feeling. That's being in love. That's being in love with the feeling. She makes that feeling so
No,
good.
but see, there you go. You're using that term in love with that feeling. You're not in love with that feeling. You love that feeling.
You've been
That's the difference.
you've been
You chasing that feeling right there because of what she did. If you truly in love with that person, it has nothing to do with what she did to make you whip. It will be an overall deal. That's where the difference come in. That's why I'm totally confused.
well,
Y'all make it seem like it made it seem like you whipped or he or she whipped, and they making choices. So that means they're in love with that person. Now, being in love with a person is an overall thing. It's not
but
just one particular thing.
we back up a little bit then? Well, I tell you what, let's do this. Let's go to number four. Let's go to number four because this one, let's go to number four. And
What's
then
the
we'll go,
number four, number three?
huh? What now,
Yeah, I'm
sir?
so confused. I don't. I'm so confused. I don't know if it's number three or number four.
That's we're in number three right now. We're in number three. We're in number three going to cycle. See, number three, the way number three written, it kind of gives you the answer. It's a repeat cycle. That's like if you that's a complete cycle. That's a person that's going from one person to another person to another person to another person. And they trying to find that love. They trying to find that high love. They're trying to find that feeling again. Almost like a crack
That's
addict.
somebody who's loving somebody. They loving each other. All these women, they just loving them. They
No,
loving them.
they're
They
not.
loving
They're being in love. See, it's
them.
not they're being in love. That's the definition got you, Mr. Kingdom. The definitions is what got you. You hung up on definition. You know what you're saying, but the definition, the way the definition is written in this thing, is that's what's throwing you off.
What you said is throwing me off. I'm about to fall off the damn bridge.
Yeah, because I'm following our definition. And our definition is being in love is a feeling.
You can't
It's
say that
emotional,
though.
electrical,
You
and
cannot. That's not a proper definition because both of them has feelings, and you throw me way the hell off when you try to say one don't.
both of them have feelings, but one you're governed by feelings, and the other one you're governed by choice.
No, because both
Being
of them
in
have
love,
choices.
well, being in love is full of feelings, and you're governed by those feelings. Loving someone has feelings, but you're governed by your choices. You've taken a step back, you looked at the situation, and you made what best choice for you going in that situation. You don't do that when you're being in love. You don't do that. Being in love, you just take me, I'm yours. The Calgon moment, I'm gone.
I like that comment of whoever just made that comment about loving is a choice and being in love, I think, was choosing you.
Who
Who made that
made that
comment?
choice? Who made that
Yeah.
conversation? Who?
I did.
Andre.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
Andre,
basically saying
Can you
that.
explain that?
Andre, I know you came in late on this subject, Andre, but right now we're confused with being in love and loving someone, and
Well,
it's been a
just
battle the whole time we've been here. It's been a battle.
just listening to kind of what you were saying. What I'm thinking, I'm hearing you say is that on one hand, the person is choosing to love someone, meaning they can turn it on or they can turn it off. On the other hand, the love has chosen that person and they don't really have a choice on it because they're kind of going in the whirlwind, sounds like.
That's the first one.
Okay,
That's being
Andre.
in love is
Andre,
a feeling. That's the feeling.
wait. Andre, for the comment you just made, define which is which in your book. Which one is in love and which one is loving? From the
So I
comment you
think
just made.
the person who just loves someone but maybe not in love with them, they choose to love that person. So you may know you choose to love a certain woman or a man because of just by your own free will, meaning that you can decide not to love them tomorrow and move on with your happy life, and that they don't
That's
have you
loving a
kind of
person.
develop. That's when like you love the person, yeah. But if you're in love with the person, I think that love kind of chose you, and you kind of don't. Even though you wish you could have choices, you kind of following the whirlwind. Sounds like.
Now, what you just said to
That's right.
me, what you just said kind of confirmed what I've been saying the whole time. That's what I've been saying. Because when you're in love with a person, you still make choices.
Hey,
But the choice that you made is not like as they say, that feeling. It's an overall deal. It's an overall. That's what love is, an overall aspect. So I agree with you 100% on what you just said.
uh, Andre, did you put what you said? Just said. Did you put it in the chat? Did you put it in chat yet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let that chat. You made it very, very clear in the chat. It made it very, very clear. Any questions before we go to number four, or we still kind of need to wrestle with
Move
Teresa?
on. Move on.
Okay, number four.
All right, give me a half a second. Half a second. Okay. Number 4.
Oh, where's my sheet? I lost my sheet.
I was trying to
You
put
lost more
something
than your sheet.
I was trying to put something in the chat.
Hey, meet me after class, sir. Take me back to high school days.
Okay, so number 4 is the grown woman shift. The grown woman shift. A mature woman reflecting on past experiences, now clear that lasting love involves growth, communication, and partnership, not just passion.
Okay.
That woman's in love with somebody.
Okay, now, so this which example we have here, is this being in love or is this loving someone?
That's in love right there.
Okay. In chat. Okay, in the chat, put being in love or loving someone, which you put in the chat, and we'll see.
Glenda, would you read it one more time, please?
Sure, I sure can. All right. The grown woman shift. A mature woman reflecting on past experiences, now clear that lasting love involves growth, communication, and partnership, not just passion.
Okay. So,
That woman's in love.
okay.
Well,
So,
Glenda, I'm gonna point the finger at you for a second.
okay.
The way you just read that, and with me knowing you, the time that I've known you, and the expression you got on your face at this moment, that is you in a nutshell. You're in love. I'm gonna put it. I'm looking at the glow in your face. You're in love, and I'm gonna leave that where it's at. Okay.
All right.
All right. Look at that
Okay,
glow in her face. Look
okay.
at
How
her
many?
smiling.
Have anybody had a chance? Anybody else want to talk about this before we read what the chat say? Read how many
Okay.
comments we got. Okay, now
All right.
how many we got being in love, Glenda?
We have one, two, three, I think, loving someone. And Sharon, I'm not
So we
sure
got three
exactly
loving
what I agree.
someones, loving
Yeah,
someone.
1 second.
When I was saying I
Sharon.
agree, I was agreeing with what Mr. Kingdom was saying. That's being in love.
Okay,
That's love.
just want to make sure.
So
Okay.
how many being in love and how many loving someone we got?
So we have we have three loving someone and
Three.
one being in love.
Okay, then the three has it. It's loving someone. And here's the reason why it's loving someone. She said some buzzwords in there. Mature woman. And it says loving someone is a choice, consistent, grounded, and mature. And then it says the past experiences said lasting love includes growth, which is another one, communication, partnership. And she put not just passion. It ain't about a bunch of feelings. It's about a choice.
That's being in love with a person because it's surrounding everything, Rufus, not
Okay,
including just passion.
okay.
It wasn't in that statement. If I understood you, Glenda, right, it wasn't about her thought of what it includes.
Glenda, do me
It
a
wasn't
favor.
a thought.
Do me a favor, Glenda. Read what loving someone is first, and then read this, and to see that this fall in loving someone. Read your definition of loving someone again. Give us a definition of loving someone again.
Loving someone is it's a choice, consistent, grounded, mature. It means choosing your person even when the butterflies quiet down. It involves trust, sacrifice, patience, and showing up. It's what holds you together when life gets real. It's an action base, not just emotion led.
Okay, now
Actually, you get whipped.
Now read example 4, and then we'll see. Read 4 first, please.
Okay, the grown woman shift. A mature woman reflecting on past experiences, now clear that lasting love involves growth, communication, and partnership, not just passion.
Okay, anyone feels that this is not loving someone?
I do. I feel it's being in love with someone because I'm always tell you it's not what you go through, it's what you learn from what you come through. You understand? And that woman, being a mature woman that she is, she's in love with herself. She knows what she wants. She knows what she's looking for. Okay? That woman is in love with whoever. Because that's what's involved in love. Being in love. And not just love. You can go and just be with anybody and just love them. Ain't no commitment and no true statement there.
Okay. Let's you know where this really came from, the tonight's subject. Now we've got 7 minutes left, and we can continue to go on this one, or we can go to where the basis of what all this came from. What I'm thinking is we're gonna put this one in the workshop, in our workshop. But this one right here, we need to be able to, everybody need to be able to talk freely, because tonight we're kind of held to only an hour, and we're not we don't have all the particulars we need to make this look clear, because this really the basis of tonight's podcast is from the 5 stages of falling in love, the 5 stages of adult relationship. And the first stage is the honeymoon stage or intro stage. And in this stage, it's the early days of relationship. Exciting, new, and you want to be around each other as much as possible. This next line is the key. The falling in love stage. The other person is the center of your life. Emotions run high, sometimes seem endearing. That's just the word, endearing. That's what falling in love is all about. That's what being in love. That's what being in love. You're falling in love right there. And then once you go through that, it's the next stage. It's the norming or uncertainty stage. And now is this right here is where the fluctuation fades a bit. You start investigating your partner and who they really are as a person. This is when the mask comes off and you're figuring out the other person's true self and whether you can work as a couple or not. That's stage number 2. Now you begin to look at them. Hey, you're not as enamored with them as you were at first. Now you're seeing some little tweaks, little red flags here, little there. So that's the second stage. So the third stage is considered the blitz or the adjustment stage. And the third stage is every relationship has downs. And even in the early stages, there are times when a couple drift apart as both have noticed weaknesses, difference, and flaws in each other and the relationship. This is the time of disappointment, but also learning and growth. Couples learn to negotiate conflict, compromise, and find common ground. Those that weather the storm merge stronger. Those that weather the storm merge stronger. Now, this is the next one. From here, you make a decision, go or no go. In that adjustment stage, you make a decision, go or no go. That's when it's no longer about being in love. It's about loving someone. You got to make a choice. So the next stage is a commitment stage that you made a choice. I made a choice of loving someone. The next one is a commitment stage where you made a choice to continue. You don't fall off. And the commitment stage is the calm after the crisis storm. You know each other better, and now you are at the crossroads. Break up or commit to final stage. So now it's not about anymore being in love. Now you got to make a decision. Are we going to love? Are we going to commit to loving each other? Are we going to commit to just us that we're going to do it? And the final stage is acceptance stage. I accept this love. I accept loving you. We're in love. We're loving someone. We're loving each other. I choose you and you choose me. And this is the acceptance stage. At this point, weathered challenges and share a deep sense of mutual respect, shared values, and a vision of the future. That's the basis of tonight. The basis of tonight, we kind of shortcutted that a little bit, and we gave you the examples. Now, there's a lot more we had to unpack tonight, but I went straight to this because those 5 stages of adult romance, adult relationships is the basis of the night. And a lot of us fall in love with falling in love. When I told you about myself, I was real. 8-10 years ago, that was real. Me, I said I wasn't gonna get married again. I was chasing that high of being in love. Man, being in love, the emotions, man, she's cute, she's beautiful, she's got a beautiful shape, man, she's talking my kind of talk. I want to be around her all the time. To me, that was it. I was Playboy #1. And that was it. And I had to get some counseling. Because everybody told me, man, you got a problem. No, I ain't got no problem, man. This is a good time. I'm single, live by myself, make good money, go and come as I want. But I didn't realize then that I was chasing that fall, and I was chasing those emotions, those feelings. And I've learned I had to go to counseling and get it sorted out. And that's what helped me be a relationship coach, because I realized then, there's some simple guidelines. There are some factors to this. It's not just feelings and stuff. Now you gotta have some common sense.
But you chasing that being in love, does that mean you was loving the people while you were chasing that in love?
As long as I with them.
But you contradicting again. You confusing. Because earlier you said it was in love. You was in love with them folks.
Yeah,
Now you said you was loving them. You was loving them to try to get to that in love state. See, you confusing, man. Come
yeah,
on
I
now.
was chasing something I could never have. It wore off.
Right.
When it wore off with this one, I go to the next one.
Right, because you was loving them people. You was loving them.
Here's
You
what I can
wasn't
tell
in
you.
love with them.
Mr. Keenan, here's what I tell you. There was a lot of dead carcasses on the road behind me.
Right, I got that part, but the point that we're getting, the point where we was getting at was you in love with them people while you was chasing to be in love, or was you loving that person chasing to be in love? That was the question.
I was loving what they was given.
Okay, my case at hand.
Okay, Glenda.
Glenda,
you want to take this home,
got
Glenda? Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this whole thing because there's so much more to impact. We're gonna do this as part of our relationship workshop because there's a lot here. And I'm glad Mr. Kingdom spoke up tonight. So thank you, Ms. Kingdom, for bringing that because this is a lot. And Ava, thank you for Ava saying how this is kind of mixed up and confusing. It really is. It really is. And this is why we make so many messes in our relationship. We make so many messes because this is confusing. When we tell people we love you because of the feelings and we don't have that mature gut that we made a choice to love them and we're loving them, when we see them out with somebody else, we ready to shoot up the whole club and kill somebody or something because we let those feelings go crazy. You know, I talk to people and some of the things they did because of jealousy and stuff like that, because it wasn't mature love. Because when you really love someone, love don't hurt.
Mm-mm.
You know, so a lot of times that's right. This is one of the biggest messes we make in life is right here between being in love and loving someone. And that's why this is so very important. And that's why tonight you see firsthand, all of us, everybody on the call tonight kind of had a feeling or emotion or thought, had some kind of feeling about tonight. And it's confusing and it's emotional. So we're going to table this because there's a lot to this. There's a lot more left. And all we're going to do now, we talk about it right now without the basis of what we're talking, the basis of getting the structure in place, it's going to be more confusing. But Mr. Kingdom, we thank you for bringing this up. We're going to table this in June the 14th to our virtual workshop. We're going to do that. We got some hours we can pour into this. All right. Glenda, take us home.
Okay. And again, Mr. Kingdom, I want to say thank you so much for bringing that topic to the surface, because I tell you, I think everybody is scratching their head tonight. Okay, so in my closing, women, we are often taught to be everything to everyone, to hold it down, to endure, to pour endlessly. But in love, we deserve more than just the thrill of being desired. We deserve the kind of love that stays when the music stops. The kind that grows, listens, heals, and nourishes. Love that's a verb, not just a vibe. So tonight, I leave you with this. May you not just fall in love. May you rise in love. May you build it, nurture it, and be loved in return with the same fullness. And may you know beyond the butterflies that you are worthy of love that is deep, steady, and true. Thank you so much for participating.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
We'll see you
It's
next
been
Sunday.
real.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.